Hallelujah Success Stories. Today we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to us at this time of year as principals, when it's time to start the hiring process, when it's time to start the interviewing process. So what we're going to be talking about today is why involve your teachers in that interviewing process or in that hiring process. The first thing that we're going to talk about is 3 benefits. There's some benefits to having those teachers there to support you during this interview process. And the first benefit is that they usually can find the best teachers. That's right. They can usually find the best teachers. And it may affect his or her job satisfaction. So when you invite a teacher in a certain department or a certain content to be on the interview committee, then that makes them feel good, makes them have good feelings of job satisfaction. And it also may impact them when they're considering leaving. They may decide, well, I think that I'll stay here because they recognize me around here for the good that I do. Or you know that your teachers know all the intricacies of what's going on that campus. They know what that campus needs. So that means that you have another advantage. They know specifically about the curriculum. They know about the workplace. They know what's needed. And then the fourth thing that we're going to add is that they also know the depth of the content. They have the knowledge of the content. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But right now, I want to tell you that I'm really, really excited about next Monday, because next Monday we'll be having our webinar at 6 p.m. Central, where we will be talking about something that you have talked about and say we have problems with getting students to pay attention in the classroom. And we're going to talk about them being able and teachers being able to get their attention, for them to retain what's going on in that classroom. So that's what we're going to be talking about on next Monday at 6 p.m. Central. So get ready for that free webinar and for that free training. What the next thing I want you to do is I want you to hit that like button. I want you to hit that share button. I want you to hit that share button at least 3 times, because you have some friends and you have some colleagues who are scratching their heads at this time, trying to figure out, what am I going to do? I went through this first year. I was a new principal. And then all this stuff went on during this past year. And now I have teachers leaving. I don't understand this complete process because I was a late hire. Or this is your second full year, or it's your third full year. And you know that you need to replace some people simply because they have said they're not coming back, or they say that, they have not been pleased with this school year. So this is a time that maybe you just don't have the experience yourself, but you do have teachers on your campus who can help you. So hit that share button, hit that like button, and let some people know that there is help out there, It is just amazing how principals sit quietly. They don't complain. Everything is inside their head. They're trying to figure things out because they think, well, I'm here as a principal. I'm supposed to know all of this. But I'm telling you, it's more to it than that. Hi, my name is Dr. Barbara Polk. I'm considered a turnaround principal. Yes, I am considered a turnaround principal. I was assigned by the Texas Education Agency because of the success that I had with turning schools around in my district. I was chosen as a consultant to go into low performing schools, those that have been identified by the state of Texas, to go in there and help those principals using identified practices stay within the entire school year so that they can help to get those schools turned around. I was also chosen by the Harvard Graduate School of Education, their Urban School Institute, to figure out ways for us to be able to support principals and give them ideas and things that they just had no information about how they could improve. And we also found out that it's just not us in our neck of the woods. It's all over the United States. It's all over other countries. We all have the same problems. And when all of us get together and we try to figure out what we need to do, and we're using information from research from the Harvard professors, it just really just makes things easier. And it makes you come out where you can help somebody else. So today, let's talk about this interviewing using our teachers. Well, you know, we talked about the benefits of having teachers to interview. And some of you say, well, I tried that and it just didn't work. I tried it and it didn't work. And guess what? Sometimes, you know, you make mistakes as principals. You have read all the books, you've gone to all of the trainings, and there may have been just something that you missed. And in your zeal to hurry up and get something implemented, you may have overlooked something. So let's talk about what we can do as principals to make sure that this process of including your teachers is one that's going to help you and not one that's going to hinder you. So when you assign teachers to your search committee, and basically that's what it is, it's a search committee. Even though people have turned their applications in, it's still a part of a search. So when you choose those teachers to be on your committee, that's automatically a sign that, you know, they have some type of leadership background. You know, the principal's just not going to select somebody that they don't have noticed. They don't do everything just exactly right, but they try hard. They see evidence of their success. So when they choose that particular teacher, it's like, that's a little crown for me. I've been chosen to be on the search committee. The other thing too is that your teachers are your best evaluators. So while you are working with the parent group, while you are working with the superintendent group, you have your teachers on that campus. And those teachers are your best evaluators. They know what's going on. They know the kind of teacher that's going to be needed for that campus. They know how that person is going to be a good fit for that particular position that they're looking for. So that's another added advantage for having your teachers on your hiring committee. And it empowers them. It empowers your teachers. They become a part of a decision-making group. So here they are sitting around the table with the principal who, you know, has chosen them, and it gives them a sense of empowerment. And Marzano says that the most influential people on your campus is the teacher. Your teachers are your most influential people. They know what the school needs. They know exactly what they need. Now, there's something that we need to consider, and that is that you just don't decide that I'm going to choose you as a teacher on this search committee. I'm just going to invite you in, and I'm just going to let you just start asking question after question. You've seen their resume. You may have had the principal may have gone through the applications and decided that these are the ones that we want to consider. But there's some protocol that you need to do, and there's some onboarding that needs to take place. You just don't, you know, throw your teachers up there and say, well, you know, let's go for it. So the thing that you have to consider is the grade and their subject expertise. So you don't want somebody who's teaching 6th grade math to be on your interview committee for your 8th grade social studies? First of all, you have to consider the content. Secondly, you have to consider the knowledge of the person that's being interviewed, and who is better to have one than a person who has that same kind of content or that same kind of knowledge. The other thing is that you have to be very, very clear about the roles and responsibilities of your teachers who are on the search committee. You have to have your questions developed. You have to make sure that all of the questions are legal. They can't just ask any kind of questions. You have to train them on the protocol of asking questions. So that means that whoever comes in, you have to ask them the same questions. You have to understand the law that makes sure that everything is done legally. Nobody is writing notes. Nobody's walking out and talking about the candidate or trying to impress upon others that they are the ones that's making the decision. That's part of your onboarding. You have to make sure that your teachers understand that. Then you have to make sure that these questions are one that will impact your decision making. And those questions are going to be questions about curriculum. They're going to be questions about methods. They're going to be questions about homework. Be questions about classroom management. Questions about assessment. Questions about meeting students where they are, meeting students' needs. Then, you can ask them a question about describe a recent lesson that worked well for you. Or make sure that you prepare your teachers for any obstacles. Remember, as the leader, remember, as the principal, you will be leading that. But you will have your list of questions. You are going to train your teachers. You're going to be very, very clear. Some places, they even decide that they have 3 or 4 people. Hallelujah. If you can find 3 or 4 people to choose from, they can have those people to teach a lesson. And I have done that. We have had our music teacher to teach a lesson, and we let them choose the lesson that they would like to choose. We have had our math teacher. Oh my goodness, our math teacher. We had our math teacher who came in when we didn't have any teachers on campus. So the administrative staff had to be the students in the classroom to observe the instruction. And oh my goodness, did we act like students. And we saw just, how he was going to handle the classroom management issue, because that's what we had, along with the content. So make sure you are onboarding your teachers properly. But if you are a principal at this time, and you know that this is a hectic time of year, if you are a teacher, if you are a principal who does not have any vacancies, and you just want to kick back and say, we got this, I want to give you a little advice. Don't sit back. Always be prepared. Always be prepared. And I always want to remind you, principals, that if you are in an urban school, if you are in a rural school, if you are in a low-income school, it's going to be very difficult to fill all of those positions until you get a hallelujah success story. And when you get a hallelujah success story, you're going to have people calling you. You're not going to have to look for them. They will call you in January to see if you have any prospective vacancies. They will be calling you because they heard that you may have a vacancy. That's what happens when you get a hallelujah success story school. So these are the things that that I have learned. And did I learn it the easy way? No, I learned it the hard way. I made my mistakes. I decided that as the new principal, I was running things. I was going to do things the way I wanted to do it. And wow, did I learn my lesson. I learned that as the principal of that school, that I was not the sharpest tack in the box. I learned that I had to find my teacher leaders. I learned that my teacher leaders were the ones who were going to let me know what was going on and give me the support that I needed. Now, are you going to come across those teachers who are always complaining? But I want you to know you need to listen to them as well, because you can always improve. But what we're talking about tonight is ways for you to involve your teachers in your interviewing process. And it's a wonderful thing to do. Make sure you have those people onboarded. Make sure you consider their content knowledge and their expertise. Make sure that they understand their roles and their responsibilities on this search team. And then you're going to have to train them about hiring protocols. Let them know that they cannot just ask any kind of question. Let them know that any documentation they have, all of that has to be turned in, because that is a part of the law. Make sure that you ask questions and they prepare questions that are things that are associated with the curriculum, things that are associated with the methods, things that are associated with classroom management. How do they feel about assessment? How do they feel about homework? Describe a recent lesson. If they have been in the classroom before, it will be very, very easy for them to describe a recent lesson. If they have been in the alternative certification program, they have had lots of opportunity to show that they can teach a good lesson. They have at least one good lesson that they can show you or describe to you just what they did and how they did it. So as you prepare for your hiring, and I know this is a hectic time, but this is the time for you to include your teachers in the interview and the hiring process. And lastly, during the onboarding, make sure teachers know that you as the principal will make the final decision. Your teachers are there to support you. You are there to make the final decision. Will you make some bad decisions? Yeah, here and there. But if you have enough people supporting you, and if you don't think you're the sharpest tack in the box, you're going to be just fine. But if you move away from that, if you try to put somebody in a spot that you like and your team was not one that particularly recommended that particular person or that teacher, you may come across some problems. You may come across some problems. Having your teachers to be a part of your interviewing and your hiring process is research-based. It's not somebody just coming along and guessing, well, let's go on and try this. It's already been tried and proven, and it works. So if I can help you and your team with the hiring process or any of the other hiring processes, let me know at barbaraypope.com. And remember, on next Monday, we are going to be doing a webinar on student engagement. That's right, student engagement. And you'll be able to ask your questions. You'll be able to see me. I'll be able to see you. And we're just going to have a good time as we prepare for our upcoming school year. Remember, the school year is almost over, but we are preparing right now for next school year. We're ending the school year with the new school year in mind. And we have to involve our teachers in our search, our interview, and our hiring process. So we will see you next time on Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. Bye.